Hey guys, and what's up? It's Merc here from Bullshit Games, and we're going to be doing another quest for gaming at college. This time around, I'm going to be talking about unruly groups, both in size and sometimes in character. I'm going to be talking about Rambos and the joys of being a co-DM and what that means. So first, let me just jump right in and say that my D&D group here on campus, we had our first meeting on Monday night, which was last night, which I was wrong in the previous video. We had decided to meet on Mondays, not Wednesdays. I think I thought Wednesdays because it was my old gaming group's meeting time. Anyway, we had our meeting, and there was roughly, I want to say 12 people there, which that's a lot of people. And it's just a lot of people logistics-wise to try to get characters rolled up and introduce people to the game, especially when a good majority of those people are new and have never played D&D before. On top of that, there were some people at the table who were less interested in being serious and paying attention and more interested in just goofing around, which goofing around's fine, and I think some of the people at the table sort of picked up on where the line was and not to go across it when the DM was trying to explain things. But there were some people who, generally I think, in the attempts to be funny, took it over the line too much, and I know it annoyed our DM a little bit, and as a co-DM I was left a little annoyed myself. I had to say no quite a few times, because people just can't be the normal races in the book, I guess, and they can't deal with sticking to the normal deities. They have to try to branch off and go into crazy other things, and as a DM, when you're trying to run a simple game with people that never played before, you're left going, no, you can't do that, just no. But I think also on top of that, just the new players in general, the problem there was I was the only person that had hard copies of the books. Our DM had digital copies, which, rather how you feel on that, at least we had an extra set of something there to at least help people understand what they were doing to an extent. But I'm hoping kind of that maybe the group will shrink a little bit come this Monday. Maybe we'll go from 12 down to like 9 or 8 people. Make it a little bit more manageable. I mean, it was a good time, and it was fun, and it's going to be fun. It's just, right now it's kind of a spinning whirlwind of chaos and just madness. And if I think the group would just shrink a little bit, it'd be a more compact, efficient delivery vehicle of fun, so to speak. A clown car compared to a Mercedes. Be a good comparison. To jump from that into the Rambo issue that I was talking about, in the playtesting group that I am a part of, which I need to get back to, because thanks to school I haven't been at, I think, our past 1 or 2 sessions, which sucks, but that's one of the downsides of school. If you have classes and papers to write, that's more important than any role-playing that you might have to do. But, again, in that group, we have 2 players that went with characters that are just complete and total badasses. I mean, it's like they went to 11 on a scale of 10. And, I don't know, it's kind of just sit back and let them do everything. It's like, I'm gonna be in the background doing stuff, like stealing ammo and getting stuff. You guys go do what you need to do. And like I said, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that per se. It's just not the way I go into a game, I don't like to have such over-the-top characters that can just Rambo their way through things. But that's me, and maybe as we tweak the rules in the playtest, that'll become more of a non-issue and less of a, well, you guys go storm the castle. I'm gonna sit here and laugh at your misadventures. And apparently, we have another player in the group who's a magic slinger. I'm interested to see how that's going to work out for him and the group in general. So, push comes to shove, I might just re-image my character into less of a roleplay-oriented, thiefy thug type and more of a Rambo. Lastly, the notion of co-dming. It's horrifying. Because our group for D&D on Monday nights is so big, just so ridiculously big, apparently I will be helping the DM, my friend Kalen, who is DMing. I will be helping him to run the game. Now, I guess I'm going to have a character in the game, but I also might be put in charge of like helping to run encounters, helping to like maybe guide one side of the table or one part of the group through rolling their dice, things of that nature, which will be interesting. And it's definitely something that we'll need to do because with as many people as we have currently, trying to do that all with just one guy being the DM, being the leader, that's not going to be really a good thing at all. Just in the fact that it'll take us like an hour for like a round and a half of combat, which that's just incredibly long and drawn out. So that's sort of where we're at up here. My on-campus gaming experience so far. My first session for my D&D group back home is this Friday, so I'm kind of doodling around, getting maps ready to go, and some adventures and a little background ready, which is going to be a Pathfinder game. Should be pretty interesting. I'm interested to see how many people I'm going to have turn out there. I know it's going to be like 2, 3, maybe 4 people. That's a very manageable group size. The funny thing is, you start to run into the same problems with a small group as you do with a large group when it comes to character class. Like the large group we have for Monday night, we have 2 bards, 2 clerics, I think 2 or 3 rangers, a fighter, and a paladin. So you'll note that that's leaving us a little short in, like, roguishness and spellcasting with wizards or sorcerers. There's no monk, which I don't think I've ever seen somebody play a monk in D&D. Or if they did, I don't remember it. It's just one of those character classes that it just, But see, with a large group, you have that problem of too much duplicity, whereas in a small group, you have the problem of not covering all your bases, where, you might have somebody that really, really wants to play, say, a rogue. Well, that's fine. And then you have somebody that really, really wants to play a fighter. Well, okay, that's fine. But now say somebody really wants to play, I don't know, a bard. Well, that's okay. It's just you don't quite have the staples that you would normally assume to need, which, in a way, that's the DM's responsibility. You're sort of supposed to work your scenario around that, which I've come to understand that, and it's an easy fix. It's just hard to wrap your head around in the beginning. But that's really it. it's going to be interesting to keep track of all these things. You know, working on my campaign for Friday nights, well, every other Friday, which is nice. I'll have a week between helping DM for D&D games on Monday nights, which is every Monday. Just helping him set up adventures and helping to run the games, and helping to keep order and make sure it just doesn't evolve into a chaotic mess. And then keeping up with this playtesting group, which meets every Tuesday and Thursday, which I think that's kind of part of the reason why I've had a hard time getting there both days, is because, you know, I have a lot of writing. When you have a lot of writing courses, you've got to write a lot of papers, and you got to do a lot of reading so you can write those papers. Sometimes you don't have the afternoons and evenings free that you'd want to. But that's a thing. Last thing that I kind of want to mention is I'm hoping this Sunday to get to the local gaming store here in Mansfield, which I guess is a little bit of a ways from the campus. I'm going to drive there Sunday on my way back to school, see how far away it is from campus, and then decide if it's within walking distance or not. That might be a way I start to get a little bit more exercise under my belt during the days when I'm here. I have time is to walk down there and hang out, play board games, or whatever they got going on down there. But that's it for me. And this week's installment of The Quest for Gaming at College, which nothing as interesting has happened yet. It's sort of like we're still at that stage where you're at the tavern and you're waiting for your adventure to begin. You've met the other players. Now you're just waiting for your adventure to begin. And that's where I'll leave us with our adventure about to begin, hopefully next week. I'll have some funny anecdotes and stories to share. Until then, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Those are always helpful. Comments are great. We like to hear from you here at Bullshit Games. And also, subscribe or share us with your friends, because that helps to get more people watching our content, and hopefully that helps to grow the community and bring more gamers together. That's going to do it for us here at Bullshit Games, and we'll see you next time on The Quest for Gaming at College.